Hey, Vicmar! I mean, I don't really want that helmet right now. I like the logic we get from the Piper. Don't like the bonuses from that shirt, though. Yeah, -2 to authority. I don't care if I have any authority, frankly. Yeah, this is just kind of like a good spread of stats we've managed to pick up with that outfit.
Look what the tide brought in.
Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes as he tilts his head.
You look like a fucking clown, Harry. Not like a funny police officer, but like a real-life, full-time, pie-in-the-face, unicycle-riding circus employee.
Good to see you too, Jean. Whatever it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man in sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags, but where are his sunglasses? No one else seems bothered by my style.
Bothered by it, Harry? You're a goddamn cop. They're afraid of you.
Everyone felt perfectly safe in your company. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I know when people are uncomfortable around me. They haven't been. That's a godly empathy success right there as well.
Believe me, they felt uncomfortable.
You're wrong.
Vic, calm down.
Wait, you're the man in the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're some kind of a urban scarecrow thing.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Hey, Trent, how's it going, bud?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Mar, and this is your special task force, or what's left of it.
He says, gesturing towards his companions.
Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us.
He points to the sea fort. The scene is making him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you. What's all this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid? What an interesting moniker. What's a shit kid? You, shit kid, that's you. Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case, despite all that I've done? No, because of all you've done. How'd you know I was here? It's the cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. I saved his establishment and he still betrays me? Strange, he didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant L graffiti in front of the building. It was on fire. Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic gesture. I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trent? Told you it was a shit kid. The line is from a Lou Jitan's Moreover 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism. The titular returning character. The ghostly apparition of... He looks around, noticing the impatience of his companions, stops himself. Good choice, Harry. He is correct. It was the Seraise poet Lou Jiatun, who in the 50s of the last century composed a Don't Encourage Him Trance. Okay. You aren't the man in sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. Guilty as charged. He exchanges a look with the special consultant. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're less insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was. I don't like being lied to. I didn't lie to you. No one lies to you. You were so fucked up on booze you couldn't recognize your own partner. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman? Point at her. Lieutenant, she says with a heavy sigh. My name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minard. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. We're still friends. I just have a stupid head. Okay. Because you're commanding my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship. That would never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason the rest of us have to take sensitivity training, and I hate sensitivity training. So Trant Heidelstein turns out to be Special Consultant Trant Heidelstein? Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein. Wait, what was up with the kid there then? Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinet beachhead, and Mikhail wanted to see Martinet. It was a coincidence. Him being there with his son, it was not a coincidence. It's difficult to see, but he was also worried about you. And also interested in the Feld building. So what are you special consulting here? What indeed? He looks at the dilapidated shacks, then you. I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotropic amnesia, group personality theory. He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Duped again! No one said who they say they are. Duped? It's a brilliant idea. Don't get so morbidly drunk and you won't be duped so easily. Gardener, stab leader, this? Turns to Lieutenant. Tell me at least you are who you said you were. Yes, I'm still Kim Kutaragi, still a lieutenant from the Precinct 57. Still caught up in the crossfire too. You mentioned a task force? Yeah, major crime unit under Lieutenant Dubois and Wickmar. Ring any bells? Refresh my memory, who else is in this? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn major crimes unit. There's you, me, Jude, fucking Trant fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Bevy. He stares at you. I'm technically just a civilian advisor. Fuck you, you're part of the shit show. Yeah, first, who's Guillaume Bevy? Oh, that's an interesting story actually. He's not smiling. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer still here. And Trent, because I'm forcing him to stay. Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses? Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were? See? There! He wags his finger at you. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me. I'm G. Bevy. I was going to be funny. But then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore. He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing for both of you. Okay, so what does the unit do? Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shitting because of you. They're your posse, or whatever remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost. The 41st isn't... He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Where have you been all this time? Where have we been? We've been fucking off, as far as I remember. He crosses his arms. You told us to fuck off. You said we were cramping your style. Your detective god, fuck everything. All will burn, detect or die. I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore. Yes. You're sorry. You're the sorriest cop you ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentant shit a million times over. None of this is ringing any bells. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, he turns to the blonde. This is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. He's standing. reasoning, all good signs. But complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic, meaning you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before, when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting. Interesting? Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, he turns to you. What do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? Not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched, pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here. What? He lost his memory because of capitalism? No, not like that. I'm talking Vredefort school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened? I drank so much I lost my memory and now I'm slowly recovering it. I made it all up. It was a stupid fantasy, a joke. I know who I am. It might have something to do with the anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world. I'm a highly experimental detective. There was a method I used to solve this case. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. And capitalism fucked me beyond all recognition. Trant is right. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant. He turns to the special consultant. I can go for that. Shit gig is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? He turns back to you. I keep my shit together. And I know a person can't wipe their own mind how traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying or insane or both. But Detective Vicmar, she interjects. He has blanked out before. I have? Yeah, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. She pauses, remembering. One was after the 2 drunks case. The other one we looked into that mural. So you don't remember not remembering? Beautiful. The 2 cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the New World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you. Interesting. So it appears he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea. Yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What did you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if it's not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect. Look at the sensory input here. He gestures towards the scenery. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape. To borrow a known metaphor, Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market, he nods confidently. He just needed for it to end. Okay, Trant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the Magic Arms unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that. He is not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. He's not wrong. I'm too far gone to work. Nah, that's not literally true. I'm just gonna go to what now? Because, like, I do want to say I don't want to be in this unit, but I don't want to say fuck all of you. What now? Nothing. Now nothing. No, we're just going to stand here. Just stand there. Yeah, just stand there. It's cool. Really? No. Now we have to discuss that. He points to the water. What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Was it in there? I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. So refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police properties that's coming out of everyone's pay slip. It doesn't matter. He exhales to calm to your breathing. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. I got my badge right here. Show it to them. In your rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic and the badge slips out of your hand. I'm gonna catch it. Not today, badge. Dang. Oh, I succeeded! Behold, my badge. The man is unimpressed by the piece of plastic in your hand. And your gun? He asks. As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. Gun? Yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you could philosophize your way out of it? I upgraded my gun to a rifle. Present the Triangong 4.46 rifle. No, you know what? I found my gun, but then I realized I didn't need it, so I left it behind. Are you drunk right now? You're fucking drunk right now, aren't you? You fucking bum. I can smell it. I quit drinking. Forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now. I don't buy it. Why did you smell like a corpse then, huh? He's wounded. He looks at you. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse. None of this matters. My Oda situation is meaningless compared to what I've discovered. What you discovered? You let a suspect escape a certain glacier because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk. We read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's, we know. Glacier? She was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained. Not taking room was the right thing to do. She gave us a vital clue that led us to the island. Okay, I got duped there. She pulled one on me. I let it go as an act of mercy. Small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. Doesn't matter, none of it. We're looking at the oxygen holocaust times a quadrillion. I've come to know the final fate of man in the universe. That's a bit like, I still, like, I have had like a massive kind of, I guess you could call it a spiritual experience as this character, but I still am quite a grounded person. That's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. Sure, it's just a part of your master plan. He rubs in his face in frustration. Let's not even get into the other escape subject. You also escaped. Another detail. The fact you're very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 8 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was a fucking mass murder. He did everything we could. He could. The lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. Here comes the cavalry. He did it at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you? Don't make this harder for yourself, he says in a lowered voice. Thank you for your input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye and coughs. You spent a week with him on this case. What is your take? On this case? On Lieutenant Yefreta Dubois. Well, he pulls up his collar. The drinking, the gun losing, and losing the badge, that's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week. See? 1 week. There's also the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socioeconomist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which again, for a police officer, is a little odd. You should start yelling. That's not a good idea. Yeah, let the big boy talk. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. He breathes in sharply. But despite all of this, he's a great detective. One of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he was not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He's tireless, madly driven. Well, except the one time he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Miss Fuckman. It was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out. Okay, he did something. Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transport. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who had stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murderers over the years. He pauses. Oh, and he has also discovered a new species. A new species? A colossal stick insect. It was in the island, camouflaged by the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may have been dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers in the yard. Rain comes down and he covers the glossy photo of the phasmid with his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered. As you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist! He ignores you, still staring at the phasmid. Fucking hell. Is that somehow connected to gas? Detective? I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became catatonic. So it is connected. I must say, this, he points to the photo, is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it. Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. His tired eyes follow the photo as Lieutenant puts it away. This is a very, very sad man who's just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you can make your case. Now is the time. I also started a nightclub in the church. What was that? He cups his ears, the wind blows. It sounds like you set up a nightclub in the church. Yeah, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored entrepreneurial phenomenon in there too. A 2mm hole in the world. That's great. Entrepreneurs is a new great career for you. After police officer. I don't care. Go live in the pale. 4 kids were living down in the tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned. So he put them in there. It's okay. It's not that okay? Get off this subject now. Also, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. Female? What makes you think so? You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting pattern. The nesting behavior too, I think. Incredible! Were there eggs in the nest? Not as far as I could see. There were other things there though. I'd gathered items in its nest. A helmet and a scope. Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. That is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. Bowers are built by the males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored. It could have been male, actually. It must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. As in cloning itself. What makes you think so? Observation. Well, then it wouldn't matter if it was male or a female. The bower would be a rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenic mutation. That makes sense, yeah. Very interesting. He looks around, quickly assessing the coast. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at a conservation effort here. In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that. I think it emits a chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds. Yes, that would be a pheromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates an affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator? The perpetrator seemed intoxicated somehow, like an addict. Just a hunch, but... There are species of bees, under the influence of pheromones, that take wasp larvae into their hives. Ants do the same thing with aphids, thinking they're... He stops. Do you think this is how it stayed hidden? Nothing is off the table, but I want to stress this. This find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable without any pheromones. Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the cases of admin as completely separate from one another. People are not going to... He shakes his head. They're not going to go for the speculation in the constabulary tree. It had mandibles that looked like hair. It was completely white on the inside. Yes, and also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained the parts that looked like the reed tufts on its limbs. Incredible, he repeats, turning to Vic Ma. The PR value of this is exceptional. Cop discovers new species, maybe even discovers the insular Indian phasmid. No, that's too much. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Absolutely! This is great! This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. It says science, news, human interest. He smiles. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo. Without it, he shakes his head. You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. The killer, Leonovich Dross, has a strong motive, or we have a strong motive for him. Lilianovich? The special consultant raises his eyebrow. A revolutionary matronym. A revolutionary matronym? The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Larsovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, and they used matronyms derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lillian. He's Lillian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned by the after the revolution failed, but has not made it to Revachol. So it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called. Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that bit of casualty. He turns to you. She said you had a motive. Of course. Excuse me. I just thought it was noteworthy. He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him. I mean, the motive that we got from him was like kind of envy, but also revenge. He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy. Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years, 70-something? A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason. He said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to. It's a clean win. Oh, it's way more than that. Way, way more. It's my masterpiece. They'll teach this in cop school. Masterpiece. He rolls over himself, rolls his eyes. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell booze on the wind. God damn it, doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It'll pass in time. The previous head of the Debitors Union was assassinated by our killer. The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Matinee, where Efrat and Edgar Claire have eyes and ears everywhere. And eyes too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. But a case against Everett would be big. The consultant too has lowered his voice. I would prefer not partake in anything union related, for political neutrality. This has to be good stuff for him to pedal out of it at first mention. Also, I fixed the strike situation. Oh, it seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates. He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information from the company rep and Everett until the rep came to see that the union desires war. At which point, Ms. Messier decided to... He shrugs. What? Hand clear the terminal? I did it for the World Revolution. Vive la révolution! Que tout mien sans you could get bled by Everclear, duped for the 100th time. Is that what you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous Unionizing to get off Evratsuk? No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinique. God, calm down, Jean. Silence. Good, the man doesn't know what to say. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk. A missing person I found. Yes. Fallen sur a gap in the boardwalk drunk. How'd you know I found him? The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of the family funeral arrangements and family stuff. You're not the only cop in this world, Harry. This all comes back to us. Still, she says quietly. Good work with the missing person, detective. I also looked into the mystery of the Doom commercial area. I don't even know what the Doom commercial area is. Rue de Saint Ghislaine 10, a commercial building where all the businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. Wow, that's not what you were supposed to do here? There was a fridge we needed, and a potable witness. He was just chasing up a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay. Of course. She turns to Vicmar. Call it community outreach, right? Dodged a bullet there. For a moment, it seemed like you were just wasting the time. So what do you want to say? Want to take this hot shit back? Point to yourself. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. He shrugs. So I have to. Jude? A quick nod. Anything that ends the trial is okay with me. You haven't been drinking, she thinks, so maybe this time. Agreed! The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. Okay. We have vehicles in the square. There's a perpetrator who needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am. The man looks westward impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket. Who am I? Who are you? Your gym teacher. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Quran. She looks around. It's getting really cold outside. Maybe we should... A guerrilla soldier / gym teacher? No, he remarks dryly. A regular one. That does explain a lot. Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, and your inexplicable facial hair. The collection of found sportswear I've amassed. Some of your more old school wording choices. Your posture even. The constant stretches. Oh god, Contact Mike? Of course! Contact Mike. He's been on about Mike again. The detective shakes his head. I hate that guy. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most important basic sporting principle of the open competition. A 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. Oh, you don't say. He arcs an eyebrow, sorry. Does he also vault an impossible goal for finance and privilege? It is getting cold out. She looks around the dilapidated fishing village. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? In your 20s or late 20s? You really let yourself go since then? He looks you over. You said in Coron? I was a gym teacher there? You taught gym in Coron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at the high school. You were a high school gym leader, a teacher. The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Coron is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building. High school, Harry. You're goings on with Kuno, Andre, Estelle. The whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie. His smirk suggests barely contained laughter. So why'd I join the RCM then? The regular? The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. The more than you are, all that. You, every morning, walking from the Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smoke of raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope. Okay, I see now. I knew it. I knew no noble human being can unearth that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher. Why am I like this? This is not some mystery. A chick fucks you over. Also, you're drunk. You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage. Some chick. Who? Doi something. Doi England? He thinks. Yeah. You mentioned the name. Not Dora Dubois? Wait, Dora England? Something like that. Havazan. Vaza is where beautiful and impossibly blonde people come from. So we weren't even married. No one is married anymore. This is rather sure. When was this? God, I don't know. He thinks, 6 years ago? She was way before my time. 6 years and you still haven't gotten over it? What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, okay, 6 years is not that much. Yeah. You're not doing good. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing, I think. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England really told you a new one. A big one. Who was she? Incredibly bangable? Are you seriously using this moment to assert male privilege? He is very passionate about this. Okay, you're right. She was extremely fuckable. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Weffish, like a Welkin, basically. Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. Pain Welkin. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. When you never recuperated from. Look. She turns her face to sea. The sun is going down. It's time to go home. I think she taught in the Academy of the Arts. East of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first. The middle class chic or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist several degrees harder. There's something harder than a psychiatrist? He poses the thing. A forensic psychiatrist. Go talk to that. In other words, he's heard enough about this. Okay, am I a dirty cop working for Laputa Madre? No. No, because the suspects seem to think you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal. No mob boss would take you. I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. He would have immediately backpedaled out of it. I told you it's not that bad. Precinct 41, what kind of station is it? Us? With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us. That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. And you have Captain Price. Thank you, lieutenants. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station, and this district is too big. Which is why we need to... He tilts his head northward. Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the C-Wing. It's not good. Torson and McLean? Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean? She arcs an eyebrow. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is. They are damn iconic though. Torso and McLean. An iconic duo, I take it? Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. What's the contrast here? We're garbage. And the C-Wing is... God. There are 4 wings, A, B, D, and C. We in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake. There's also a lot of outside help involved. Not only me. He smiles. Other losers too. And Price is... Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the oldest... Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the oldest Price, one of the founders of the RCM. He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky. Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like Ladybird and 2 chimneys, like a Ladybird and 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him a coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May. Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? Point to the church. So you remember that? Yes, there have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press. Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear. What happened? Why do we need to go there? Our enemies were hiding in the church to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit here right now. You have to wait for it to go up. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters. So I work in the bloody murder station? Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk ramps and a coffee corner. It's got a lot of good people working there. Hard. Every day. Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol. Fallberg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us. The pressure will blow over. The press will blow over, he says to you in a reassuring tone. Jamrock is lucky to have you. And it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it. Thank you again, Lieutenant. The Phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Who is Lena? She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember? A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid. Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live, on Perdition. She looks at Vicmar. Fun. If we're gonna drop you off anyway. She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all this. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. About getting moved to the 41st precinct. About what? He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lens of his glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Want to do that at Station 41? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41. Work with Price? A crooked smile quivers on his lips. I'm flattered, but I don't know if I would fit in. Am crazy enough? Can take the stress? He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's a loss. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you'd consider... The man turns serious all of a sudden. I would have to try things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the Arbor. And we have a huge caseload, Lieutenant, she says with a smile. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even. I do like the sounds of that. He returns her smile. Precinct 57's finest. He's really considering it. I'm ready. Good. She looks at you, then Vicmar. Fuck it, let's go. The man points down the street. Transport his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Armel. Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses. 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41 atop the motorway to Boogie Street, forking into the dark horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. En route to St. Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yep. McLean? Yeah. Hadelstam? No. Vicmar? Yeah. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from his list. I hear it's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office and the curtains are drawn. Howdy's our man? He'll pull through. But when he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot, of course. Wonderful. The woman looks north. Then can we please go back to Jamrock now? Turn this down a little. And say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Disco Elysium. It has been my absolute pleasure to play through this game. It is already one of my favorite games of all time and will be incredibly influential to how I approach games in the future. Obviously, like, the themes that were being played with, the parallels that it draws obviously and then not so obviously to the real world, the exploration of trauma in your own character, and being able, like, with the setup of having you be amnesiac at the start, it gives you the ability to define yourself wholly as the character in the world. And then, sure, afterwards they can turn around and say, like, this is who you were before, but they wait so long to do that that you are already attached to your idea of the detective. You get to truly define yourself. It's like, it's very much kind of like, what is it? You, like, specifically doing those things and them giving you the thoughts is like a very, very kind of like core philosophical idea of like, you know, it's adjacent to your bundle theory of self of Hume and a couple other writers, effectively talking about the idea of you define yourself through your own actions. And we defined our character through the actions that our character did. And that seems kind of like trite, but like it goes against the idea that your actions follow your beliefs. Instead, your beliefs follow your actions. Is effectively what it's arguing for. And this game seems like the perfect encapsulation of that. I have enjoyed this to no end. And I imagine off camera, I will probably still continue to enjoy it as I try a different run in my own time. I do not have the ability to do another run of this on the YouTube channel. It tied up the YouTube channel for around, I want to say, special thanks to Chris Avalon. That makes sense. And everyone at Larian Studios. Clear kind of inspiration points there for them. Yeah, I don't have the ability to do another one of these on YouTube. It's tied up one of my daily slots for 3 months now? 2 months? 2 to 3 months, around there. Mankind, be vigilant. We loved you. Oh. And I'm gonna need to rotate that slot out to some other games at this point. But my God, was that ever an experience. I'm just gonna see if there's anything after the credits as well. I wanted to talk through the credits just in case. No? Then for the moment and the last time, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Disco Elysium. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. And hopefully we'll see you some other time for some other game.